Coming up on the Life is the Future podcast.
There's like a lot of brain rot in this generation.
Oh my God.
And I think that it's low-key, actually high-key, really like motivational, because if you think about it, like winter arc, like what do you, like if like a bunch of people like all over the world like going on to like certain platforms like TikTok or Instagram, it could help you because if like multiple people are like using that, then like it can just help through like peer pressure.
Yeah. Like social media like has been for a while just like really bringing people down a lot, because like you see someone with like a huge thing is like over consumerism. With like people I keep seeing these like skincare routines where like people have like 7 drawers full of stuff. God, like no one needs a 2,000 pack of cotton pads. It's like the shelves are full. They have like 12 dupes of the same product, and like I'm glad that other people are seeing this too, and they're like commenting things, making their own posts, saying like let's stop normalizing stuff like this. And like on social media with all of this like people being super rich and successful and having all these big things that can bring you down, other people are still trying to like help put out like light into the world and saying like no matter what you see on the internet, just remember that you still have so much and like you can still do so much.
Hey, it's Scott Todnum, and you're listening to the Life is the Future podcast, a podcast for health education, middle school, and life in general. It's episode 9 of season 7 of our podcast. This week's hosts, Sri and Samarth, invite in Meghna and Indira, and they talk about mood and motivation in middle school life. I'll be back at the end to wrap some things up. For now, here's Sri and Samarth. Enjoy.
Hi, welcome back to the Life is the Future podcast. Today our topic is mood and motivation in the winter seasons. My name is Samarth and this is Shri, and these are our 2 people.
Hi, I'm Indira.
Hi, I'm Meghna.
Alright, so before we start, like, what are your general thoughts about the topic?
Well, like, I feel like motivation is really hard to get after, like, a whole break and, like, you know, you're really tired, sometimes lazy. I'm guilty of that. But I think, like, significantly, it's, like, very, very hard to regain, like, all that strength because, like, you really, really tire yourself out, especially, like, that's, like, final season and stuff like that, so.
Yeah, I think like part of like the weather as well, just like winter depression has just got me in a headlock, you know, like, but I think, yeah, it's kind of like hard to like get out of like when you're in that like down circle, like going deeper and deeper like into like a bad place. It's kind of like hard to like get out of it, but like I think with the right environment you can like get out.
Good point.
Yeah, so we wanted to focus on that, like, after, like, seasonal depression. We want to focus, like, how can we and our viewers get our motivation and mood back up after these, like, depressing winter months?
Mm-hmm. I know, like you guys said, like, there's a lot of, like, seasonal depression and, like, you really can't, like, get back. But I know it starts for me in, like, September, the moment like school really starts, and then it ends in July. So I have like 1 month of like peak.
I think for me, the moment I see the sun, I'm like, yes, I'm happy again.
Yes.
Like that's for me though.
Yeah, I feel like it's really like psychological. I feel like when you think about it, if you're like your mood compared to like on like a sunny day, like you're in summer, you're hanging out with your friends, right? Like you feel more motivated to like hang out with your friends. Sometimes I feel like when like the sun is out, when it's summer, like it's hot, versus like if you're in winter and you're probably scrolling. Like
yeah.
I feel like you don't want to hang out with your friends as much. It's really
You need friends to hang out with them first though. Just saying.
Is that your own, like,
personal experience?
Wow, that just got deep and
Okay,
dark.
So much you want to add on to that?
You want to continue
for that?
Well, I feel like my friend count has dropped from first grade. I don't know what else am I supposed to say, bro.
Keep this happy.
We want the mood.
Well,
Keep
I'm
the
sorry.
mood up.
No, but in mood and motivation, there's also a downside.
Okay, just talk about your trouble with social. Okay, I don't think this is part of the podcast.
No, they need to know this. They need to know this. This is important.
Being honest.
Honesty is extremely important on this podcast. I should probably start with that, but it's extremely important, which is why I kind of brought that up. Because generally, like, I know, like, I've seen a lot of kids, like, their friends, like, really, like, make fun of them in some sort of way, but that kind of helps, that kind of, like, gets them back. But that's never really happened to me, because it's just, like, people making fun of me, and it's not, like, gonna help at all. So that's why I said, like, it's September to July, and then August, it's just, like, I don't really talk to anyone except for, like, my phone and, like, kids through there. So, like, there's no, like, really face-to-face interaction during August, because it's just, like, prepping for school. And then, yeah, so that's kind of when I come back.
I have a point to add on to that. I feel like social interaction in seasonal depression is so important.
Right.
Because, like, again, back to, like, the whole friends topic. No judgment. But, like,
We've all been there,
we don't.
yeah, we do.
Keep going.
Okay. Well, basically, I feel like when, like, that motivation, like, really hits, it's like, that's, like, your peak. Like, I feel like when it's summer, I feel like I have, like, the courage or, like, the guts to ask, like, more friends. Like, I will make more friends in summer rather than winter.
Yeah, because, like, the warm weather, it's like you want to use that time efficiently. But, like, it's like in the winter when, like, the sun's down, the clouds are everywhere, and it's like it just really looks like blue and dark, like desaturated.
Yeah.
You just, like, it doesn't matter what you do with that time, because, like, that time doesn't really matter. So you just, like, end up doom scrolling.
And, like, I think, like, when I said, like, hold up, what did I say?
More friends in summer.
Before that.
I don't remember. Before that.
Okay, wait. Before that, it's him not having.
No.
Yeah.
I have point, didn't I?
Oh, but, like, how it's extremely important.
That. I feel like also social interaction, if you don't have it for, like, a while, you're, like, it's like, I feel like it really just hits harder and harder and harder.
I
when
think
you
you're,
don't
like,
have
really
friends.
hitting home with him.
Why is this so targeted? Why is this so targeted?
I do have a question for you guys.
Die.
How do you think that, like, social media can, like, help in a positive way or, like, a negative way for motivation? And before you say anything, I'm talking about my experience. So personally, there's, like, a lot of brain rot in this generation.
Oh my God.
And I think that it's low key, actually high key, really, like, motivational, because if you think about it, like, winter arc, like, what do you, like, if, like, a bunch of people, like, all over the world, like, going on to, like, certain platforms like TikTok or Instagram,
Which is banned.
No, TikTok's
not
not
yet actually
back.
back. Trump signed the 90-day thing.
Stop.
Wait.
He did?
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, so then I think that, like, it could help you because if, like, multiple people are, like, using that, then, like, it can just help through, like, peer pressure or, like, just, like, you go, like, through the herd, like, you're just...
Yeah, I think, like, social media, like, has been for a while just, like, really bringing people down a lot, because, like, you see someone with, like, a huge thing is, like, over-consumerism, with, like, people have, I keep seeing these, like, skincare routines, where, like, people have, like, 7 drawers full of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, no one needs a 2,000 pack of cotton pads. It's, like, the shelves are full, they have, like, 12 dupes of the same product, and, like, I think, like, I'm glad that other people are seeing this too, and they're, like, commenting things, making their own posts, saying, like, let's stop normalizing stuff like this. And, like, on social media with all of this, like, people being super rich and successful and having all these big things that can bring you down, other people are still trying to, like, help put out, like, light into the world and saying, like, no matter what you see on the internet, just remember that you still have so much, and, like, you can still do so much, like, more realistic things that instead of just that, like, again, no one needs 12 serums.
What's a serum?
It's like a very concentrated form of
Of chemicals that
Chemicals.
can help you
helps
clear
your
up your
skin.
face.
Okay, so
You
again,
already have very clear skin. So
I don't have a routine though. That's the thing.
Okay, wait, hold up. Wait,
Yeah.
are you gonna add something?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. So I think that's also really true. But I think on top of that, like how you said, brain rot and all of that stuff. I think it helps positively, but at the same time, it also hurts because the moment when you start doom scrolling, it's there's no real way for you to
get out.
and then eventually it's when especially when I start doing something, my dad just walks in and rips away my phone, and the moment I get it back, I just all go back on, and it's inevitable. So I don't really know. I think it's once in a while it's good, but after you get there's a line. After you cross that line, there's no coming back, and then you're screwed until March.
Yeah, with that, I've again with the doom scrolling for a while thing, I know a lot of people. I do this too often as well, where maybe you have homework to do after school, but instead of doing that, you're on your phone, and it's let's say the time's 3:38. You're okay, at 3:45 I'm gonna start working. You look back at the clock and it's 3:47, and you're okay, 4 o'clock I'll start working, and keep doing that, and then suddenly it's 8 o'clock and you haven't done anything yet.
Guilty as charged, y'all. I'm so guilty of this.
I think that also comes in different forms. Cause me, I don't procrastinate by going on my phone. What I do is I have a Google Home mini thing. So I set a timer for 15 minutes. 15 minutes. I just set it there, and then I'm just chilling on my bed, and then I wake up and it's 5 o'clock. I've been asleep for 2 hours, and I'm what in the world? Why am I this sleep deprived? And then my dad walks in how much homework did you get done? I'm nothing. I was asleep. It's
In the contrary, I feel social media, I feel nowadays, more than a while ago, I feel they really promote a lot of happy stories. There's there's this one story, but I'm not gonna drop any names or anything. But there's this one disabled kid, and he was a big gamer. Okay, and as a lot of people, kids are. And
guilty.
I mean,
I
Con.
play
Shut up! I'm on the newer version.
Go on.
I'm on the newer version.
Not even that. I play horror games on Roblox.
Okay, go on.
Doors.
Mimics. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Back to the
Okay,
topic.
wait.
Back to the topic.
Back to that. But he obviously being disabled, you don't make as many it's really hard to make friends, right? Obviously. And so he really didn't have a lot of friends, but then when he got gaming, right, his parents really didn't monitor his gaming much, right? That was his source of enjoyment. And basically after that, what happened was he had passed away, and but they posted, because he was, I think, I don't know what the social media was, but, and then his friends on his game had told all of these great things about it. And I feel as back to the whole social interaction that we were talking about, how social media could hurt or help that, I feel it goes really, really deep both ways. Obviously there's cyberbullying, there's really deep topics like that, but there's also things like this, and I feel a lot of people overlook, this is also really controversial, but sometimes parents view Snapchat and stuff as obviously it's addictive, to be honest, right? But I feel the promotion of these are so important, and so if we weren't to have social media, so many of these stories, so many people who didn't feel included in real life, they won't have any social interaction to any extent. And I feel that's the whole other side of social media that a lot of people don't talk about.
My parents really need to hear this, bro.
I completely agree with you, but on the contrary, I just think that especially for young minds, when people 11-year-olds, you're not supposed to have these platforms. People still do. I'm guilty of that. When I was 11, I had everything.
Really?
No, that's
I still
actually
don't have
You had a
Snapchat.
phone?
Yeah.
No, I used my dad's phone, and then I downloaded it, and I put it on it, and then I hid it. Anyways, that's beside the point. I think that you could just see really unrelatable things,
like you said, like you don't need to be like having like 4,000 Lululemon tank tops. Like that's just
totally,
not like manageable and relatable. Like when you see
it's just
things,
so unrealistic.
it's so unrealistic, and just like that can completely kill your motivation, because you could be like, oh well, I'm not like this, my body isn't like hers, I don't look like this, my hair isn't like this. And like personally, I don't even know, I'm going to like deep into like insecurities. Like my hair is whatever, and I see like all these girls, oh wow, they have such pretty hair, why can't I have that? And then it's just like, oh, why can't my parents buy me this? Why can't my parents buy me that? It's just like unrealistic. And I just think like young minds are really prone to like, they're just like really impressionable. So like these things
they're like,
are just
their
like,
brains are like sponges. They just absorb everything.
absorb everything. So like these types of like unrealistic videos are just like really damaging.
I really see that, because like I know it I don't really get those kind of videos, but like my sister does, and like she's like constantly sending me like Instagram reels of like, oh my god, look at this guy's hair, look at this guy's hair, look at that guy's hair. I'm like, bro, what am I supposed
Why
to?
doesn't your hair look like that?
Yeah, no, she gets so pissed at me. Like I'm like, hello. Like she asked me to get curly cream, and like that was the first time I heard what that was. I was like, what is curly cream? And then she was like, oh, it's this thing that you put in your hair. I was like, oh my god. She cares more about my hair than I do, bro. Like I shampoo twice a week. That's kind of it. That's my entire hair job.
Wait, twice a week.
Do you use
conditioner?
Yeah, I do one too.
Do you use conditioner?
What's conditioner?
Oh, okay, but it's because you just don't
Well,
have
that's like
much
a
hair.
little.
Not in a bald way. I'm just saying you don't have as much hair as us, so we have to take more care of it.
My god.
Okay, anyways. Wait, but like this is... Okay, wait, stop laughing, because this is going to get really deep. But like... Materialism, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, queen.
Yeah, slay.
But I feel like, in contrast to what I said, but like materialistic like stuff is like really, really like getting more popular like by each like year, maybe day. That's what we call it. Like exactly like PR, like they like PR and stuff is like different, but like having like all of these like privileges, which are really good, right? But like when you like, it's kind of like you're like
Comparing.
Like brag.
I feel like not exactly bragging, but like when you're boasting them, not exactly bragging, because that's like harsh, but like boasting them, like you know, to like such a like very, very vulnerable audience, it's very, very damaging, and I feel like also that kind of contributes like to this whole mental health thing, like
For sure.
like that's like a whole thing. So, any thoughts?
Yeah, like that all like in general, just social media can like really just bring down your mood.
in general.
Yeah, in general, just bring down your mood. But like, there's again like the good part of social media where like creators, I keep seeing more and more creators every day that'll make like wholesome, like simple content, or will like never changing since like they started, just giving what like people like to see,
Like funny skits or something.
yeah, like that,
those are not
or like
comedy.
more and like more like supportive content. Like I keep seeing like things that are bringing awareness to different things, or like just informative like content, like randomly found, which I really appreciate, because like when you're doom scrolling, you're just seeing like anything, Fortnite clip, and then just Reddit story, and then just random baking. It's just randomness, and then you get like again, like what you said, the brain rot, and then you get like something wholesome like that.
Oh my god.
And then you get like wholesome stuff like that, and that like can bring your mood up for a bit.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like so many sides to like winter depression in comparison to like decades. Like I feel like winter depression now versus like winter depression in probably the early 2000s. Oh my god. There's probably like this drastic difference.
The causes have definitely changed.
Oh my
since
god,
then.
yeah. Like I feel like back then, like, obviously social interaction, but like now you relate it to now, and like when you're when like an experience, like when I had a sleepover once, I don't think we talked that much. I think we maybe talked about like videos. Like that's how like boring it was.
Really?
And yeah, it was really annoying. Like maybe a movie was playing, but like half of us were on our phones. Like I was trying to watch the dang horror movie because it was a horror movie too. And I was like, what are you putting on the horror movie for then? If you're just on TikTok.
I would experience that so much. Like there was like a huge period where I have friends that are a year older than me, and like they still got like phones like years prior, and like I only got my phone like less than a year ago. I think. Maybe like a year or two ago.
Yes.
But like they got their phones when they were like 7 or 8. So I was just like, I would be over at their house and like they would be playing like some video, and I just have to sit and like wait for them, or I'd like go over to their house. They're just like on their phones for like 30 minutes a time. Then they like, I keep asking like, can we please do something? And like they would just be still like on TikTok.
They'd be like, yeah.
Or they'd play like, they're like, the only way they would play a game is if they're like those like game apps.
Heads Up.
Right. Yeah.
Heads Up is fun though.
Yeah, it would be like those like apps where, I know one of them was like, it would collect photos or videos from your library, and then you'd have to guess like whose it was.
Yeah,
that was like the only way
so
they would be able to play a game. Like they could play a board game or anything. And I think like that's what's happening with like social media, just bringing out everyone's like, it's because we use our phones so much, is now we're becoming reliable on it for entertainment, like in other forms as well, which like again brings down like your mood a lot.
I also think with like social media, like everybody's going through it right now. So like, you know when you like hear like a sad song, even when you're like smiling like 2 seconds ago, and then you're like because it's
Or
like a
you
sad
listen
song
to it when you were sad,
right?
And then
you
just brings up
cry
the
even
memories.
more. Like you just like seeing those sad videos or like videos about mental health can honestly like change the way you also think about yourself. Because again, like peer pressure. Because at one point, I feel like everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I feel like depressed," and they were like misusing the word depressed. And I feel like everyone felt like they had to be that way to like feel included. At one point. So,
oh my god, I felt that firsthand. But
Not yet.
we have a little bit of time since we have a few minutes. In general, out of like the topics we discussed, what do you guys think was like the most like important on today's like generation, like for years?
We talked about social media the most, so like I'd say like
definitely
always
media.
it like every time we have these like podcast discussions, social media always comes into play.
Oh my god, yeah.
So like in everything, social media always has an impact on it, and that I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing, but like social media, people just share so much. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be oversharing, it could be like, again, informative content. But like with that, it's just becoming like more and more is getting on there, and that's how people are getting so much of what they learn nowadays.
Yeah.
It's just because like anybody can share anything without like barely any consequences. So like they just feel like they can.
People just forget digital footprint.
Yeah, they just forget like all those things. And it's also like if you're just like a regular person who isn't like a hacker or doesn't know much about technology in that way,
You're like supposed to like anonymous.
right? Yeah.
Shree's crazy though. I think also like related to social media, I know like this has come up multiple times, but I know like I went through something like right before winter break, and it was really hard to go through considering like it was just before winter break, and I tried, but then the moment like school ended, it kind of hit because like there was nothing for me to focus my mind on, and then so I tried, and then so I just started doing schooling for like 3 hours straight, and then like I ended, like I'm pretty sure, like I remember this clearly, like I ended on a video and it was talking about a guy who went through exactly what I did, but how he handled it and how he's able to like, he's still like sad, but like he's able to move on. And I think that's the kind of stuff that should be more promoted, especially because like a lot of people go there for something, like maybe not necessarily like in my case, like they're like gone, but like they're trying something like that, like they're just trying to like cope, and I think that's like really, really important.
I do think school can definitely help, because when you're surrounded by like your friends or like people you actually like to be around, I think that they can like really help your mood. Like one time I just walked into like class annoyed. And the moment I saw my friend, I was like giddy and I was like jumping up and down. So yeah.
Yeah. So again, how social interaction.
Yeah. Okay. So to wrap it up. So for our final question, what do you guys recommend? What do you usually do that maybe the listeners today here can learn from you guys on how to like bring up their mood and motivation, especially after these winter months?
I'll say something. Just like really like don't let winter like really get to you. Like if you're looking outside and it's gloomy, like maybe like, and to use social media as a positive way, like FaceTime your friend. Like don't like let all of that like really get to you. If you have homework, do it. Don't procrastinate. Because that's just try to learn something new. Learn something that will keep you busy. Like not too busy because that's damaging. But yeah.
Going on that, I just think like you should do something that you like. Like for me, dancing and like singing and drawing, like that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So during the winter days, I like literally go like put my beats on and I'm just like
Exactly. I finished
vibing,
painting because I actually like did not look at my phone. Yeah.
Okay, so like just like do your passions.
Yeah,
That's all
building
you want.
on that, like make sure like what you're spending your time like. I get it that like doom scrolling it gives you like the immediate like happiness, but like just remember that like even the longer tasks it'll have a positive outcome in the end.
Yeah.
So like spend your time doing something you love while also like making sure it's helping you in some way and not just like doing random things. Yeah.
And just a really quick note on that.
Yeah.
I feel like when you do something that you put a lot of effort into and you see a positive outcome in the end, it's
one of the best
so
feelings.
motivational.
One of the
It's
best
so much
feelings.
better than like just like that instant dopamine like rush
Yeah.
when you're like, scrolling because you don't have any.
Yeah, because
effort
it just
into that.
goes away
It's just a
right after
finger.
the scroll.
But like when you like do something, you put effort into it and you like actually like think about it deeply, then that's where like your motivation can
Yeah,
be,
you have
and
like that
that's-
permanent product or the permanent
Yes.
memory of doing that rather than just like forgetting after that scroll.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like this. This is really great stuff.
I
I just think like we should probably wrap it up because I think this has been going for half an hour.
Okay.
So
Okay.
thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Again, this is Life is a Future podcast, and see you next time.
Bye.
All right, there it is. Thanks to Meghna and Indira for joining Sri and Samarth today to talk about mood, motivation, everything that teenagers might go through, especially at the start of the year, and especially for us in wintertime. As always, we're thankful for the candid conversations. You can hear that the teenagers are pretty comfortable now speaking in front of the camera, at least our hosts are. And they enjoyed each other's company, which is really nice to see. I think towards the end especially, we got into some great ideas and recommendations for others to keep up the hard work no matter what endeavor. Let's be honest, sometimes it's hard to stay positive, and we want to avoid toxic positivity, of course. But I'm just really thankful, I hope you are too, to hear directly from the 8th graders each and every month. We're going to keep this school year rolling, and if you like this type of thing, we do have an understudy program where we release some behind the scenes footage as 7th graders follow along and do their own reflecting on the topic of the week. Look for that and more episodes real soon. If you think somebody would benefit from this, please send it their way and make sure you've subscribed so that you can follow along with our journey. It always helps us to reach our intended audience. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.